Imagine a place where the mere act of stepping outside your door could lead to a dangerous encounter. These places exist, and today we dive into the world's most dangerous countries. When we speak of danger, it's not just about the occasional mishap or accident. We're talking about places where crime rates are sky high, where conflict is a daily reality, where terrorism looms like a menacing shadow, and where political instability creates a breeding ground for chaos and violence. These are countries where your heartbeat might just skip a beat more frequently, where every step carries a weight of uncertainty, and where survival can often mean living on the edge. We've analyzed data, sifted through reports, and delved into the complex socio-political landscapes to bring to you a countdown of danger. So, buckle up and brace yourself. Prepare to journey into the heart of danger as we count down from the least to the most dangerous country. Stepping into the fifth spot is Mexico, a country as famous for its cultural richness as it is infamous for its drug-related violence. Mexico, a land of vibrant colors, tantalizing flavors, and infectious rhythms, is also home to a darker reality. The crime rate in this country is high, with organized crime and gang violence posing significant threats to public safety. Street crime, ranging from pickpocketing to armed robbery, is an ongoing concern. Kidnapping, both traditional and express, is a serious issue. In the latter, victims are typically held for a few hours and forced to withdraw funds from an ATM. But it's the gang violence that casts the longest shadow. The country's drug cartels are notorious worldwide, their power often seeming to rival that of the government itself. The drug trade in Mexico is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it's this lucrative business that fuels much of the violence. Turf wars between rival cartels and clashes with security forces result in high levels of bloodshed. Homicide rates in the country are among the highest globally, with many of these deaths linked directly to gang violence and the drug trade. For potential visitors, the U.S. State Department routinely issues travel advisories for Mexico, advising against non-essential travel to certain regions. These advisories emphasize the risks in various states, particularly those along the U.S.-Mexico border and in areas known to be drug trafficking routes. It's essential to stay informed and vigilant, avoiding risky areas and situations. But it's not all doom and gloom. Mexico is also a country of warm hospitality, ancient civilizations, and stunning natural beauty. It's a place where you can explore Mayan ruins, relax on sun-drenched beaches, and savor some of the world's best cuisine. It's these contrasts that make Mexico so captivating, so compelling. So while Mexico offers a feast for the senses, it also demands a high level of caution. The allure of its rich culture and history is undeniable, but the reality of its crime and violence is equally undeniable. It's a country that invites exploration, but with the understanding that safety should always be a top priority. Next on our list, we have Yemen, a country torn apart by conflict. Yemen, a nation situated on the southern tip of the Arabian Peninsula, is a land of stark contrasts. Its rich history, diverse landscapes, and vibrant culture are overshadowed by a harrowing reality. An ongoing civil war has left the country in a state of turmoil, creating a humanitarian crisis unlike any other. For the past decade, Yemen has been embroiled in a conflict that has fractured the nation, pitting the Yemeni government against the Houthi rebel movement. This war has created a dangerous environment for both its residents and any potential visitors. The fallout from the conflict has led to widespread destruction, with many of the country's historical and cultural landmarks in ruins. But the danger in Yemen extends beyond the battlefields. The country is also grappling with a humanitarian crisis of staggering proportions. Basic necessities like food, water, and medical supplies are in short supply. The United Nations has declared the situation in Yemen the world's worst humanitarian crisis, with millions of people in desperate need of assistance. Moreover, Yemen has also become a hotbed for terrorist activities. Groups like Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State have exploited the chaos, establishing strongholds within the country. These groups pose a significant threat, not just to Yemen, but to the entire world. Their presence has further exacerbated the already precarious situation, making Yemen a perilous destination. Despite the immense challenges it faces, the spirit of Yemen and its people remains unbroken. Their resilience in the face of adversity is a testament to their resolve and determination. But for now, the dangers that plague Yemen make it a country that demands caution and vigilance. Yemen, a country where the specter of war looms large, is our fourth most dangerous country. Moving on, we find South Sudan, a young nation in the throes of instability. South Sudan, the world's youngest nation, born out of a hopeful separation from Sudan in 2011, has been plagued by civil strife and political instability since its inception. The promise of a peaceful future was quickly overshadowed by conflict, driving the country into a state of constant upheaval. The civil war, which erupted in 2013, only 2 years after independence, has left an indelible mark on the nation's fabric. The conflict, rooted in political power struggles, has seen countless lives lost, families torn apart, and communities ravaged. A peace agreement signed in 2018 has not yet managed to fully extinguish the flames of conflict, with sporadic outbreaks of violence still a grim reality. Political instability remains a critical issue. Power struggles within the government have led to a lack of effective governance, contributing to the volatile situation. The inability to foster unity and maintain peace has allowed lawlessness to thrive, further exacerbating the nation's woes. South Sudan also grapples with a high crime rate. Violent crimes, such as armed robbery, murder, and kidnapping, are unfortunately not uncommon. The absence of a robust law enforcement infrastructure compounds the issue, making it a challenge for the authorities to maintain law and order. For potential visitors, these factors pose significant risks. Travel advisories often warn of the dangers, advising against all but essential travel to the country. The risk of becoming a victim of crime, coupled with the possibility of getting caught up in political unrest or conflict, makes South Sudan a hazardous destination. Despite its rich cultural heritage and natural beauty, the ongoing instability in South Sudan overshadows its potential as a travel destination. It's a stark reminder of how conflict and political strife can cripple a nation's progress and taint its image on the global stage. South Sudan, a country steeped in conflict, snags the third spot on our list. Just missing the top spot is Syria, a country devastated by a decade-long civil war. This Middle Eastern nation, once a cradle of civilization, is now synonymous with strife and conflict. The civil war that erupted in 2011 has left the country in ruins, with buildings destroyed, families displaced, and lives lost. The war has not only divided the country politically but also socially and economically, leaving behind a trail of devastation and despair. Terrorism, too, has cast a long and ominous shadow over Syria. Various extremist groups have seized the opportunity to spread fear and assert their dominance. These groups pose a significant threat to the safety of anyone who dares to step foot in the country. The humanitarian crisis in Syria is another heart-wrenching aspect of its current state. Millions of Syrians have been forced to flee their homes, seeking refuge in neighboring countries and beyond. Those who remain face dire conditions with limited access to basic necessities such as food, clean water, and medical care. Potential visitors must tread with extreme caution. The risks are high and the situation remains volatile. The echoes of gunfire, the crumbling infrastructure, and the palpable tension in the air serve as stark reminders of the dangers that lurk at every corner. Syria, a country where peace seems a distant memory, is our second most dangerous country. Finally, we arrive at the most dangerous country in the world, Afghanistan, a country that has been marred by conflict, terrorism, and political instability for decades. Its history is a mosaic of invasions, wars, and power struggles, making it a forbidding destination. The root of its dangers lies in the ongoing conflict. A tumultuous power struggle has gripped the country since the late 70s, leading to a vicious cycle of violence and instability. This conflict has not only affected the lives of millions of Afghans, but also poses a significant risk to anyone daring to venture within its borders. Terrorism is another grim reality in Afghanistan. Numerous extremist groups have found a foothold in the country, turning it into a hotbed of terrorist activities. These groups not only add to the existing instability, but also make Afghanistan one of the most perilous places on the planet. Political instability further exacerbates the situation. The lack of a strong, stable government has allowed these conflicts and acts of terror to thrive. It has left the country in a state of constant unrest where danger can strike at any moment. Even for the most adventurous travelers, the risks in Afghanistan are extreme. The threat of violence is ever present, and the lack of basic infrastructure can turn even the simplest tasks into perilous adventures. In the face of these adversities, Afghanistan stands as the most dangerous country in the world. From Mexico to Afghanistan, these countries serve as a grim reminder of the dangers that persist in our world. We've journeyed through the tumultuous terrains of Mexico, Yemen, South Sudan, Syria, and Afghanistan, unearthing the unsettling realities that lurk within. While the thrill of exploration can be enticing, it's crucial to stay informed and prioritize safety. The world is a beautiful yet unpredictable place. Remember, knowledge is power. Stay safe, stay informed, and thank you for joining us on this journey into the world's most dangerous countries.